Hi, how are you? Okay. I want to stop recording. I was able to do that before. I don't know what happened. I know that you started iCloud, but I always was able to stop recording.
It's a favorite from when I did.
Do you want me to get out and come back again? Hello. I would like to welcome you all. Thank you to all the friends who are here for the first time. I love to see their faces. I'm wondering if we can introduce ourselves and tell us where we're coming from. We'll start. Christine is on my left side, the first one. Go ahead, Christine.
Well, I'm here from Nova Scotia, Canada, and I haven't been here for a very long time, but I'm back, and I'm always happy to be back. So thank you, Farouz. I'm so glad you still send your emails to me. Thank you.
I'm so glad to see you. All the best. We love you.
Thank you.
Heather, go ahead. Heather and Max.
You've been muted.
Unmute yourself. Okay, go ahead.
We live just outside of Quebec City at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Lived a lot of different places, but that's where we're living now.
Perfect. Perfect. Very good. Rod?
Rod Clarkin, Virgin Islands.
Okay. Care, would you like to unmute yourself?
Care Cornets, and I've been on Vancouver Island for a number of years, but my heart is still in Northern Ontario as well.
How lovely. We thank your heart. Appreciate it. Sheila John, hey, how are you? Please go ahead.
I'm here from Hamilton, Ontario, which is where I've lived for 6 years, which is a very long time for me.
Okay, well, and you travel a lot. Molly, go ahead, please.
Molly DeWald. I'm from Santa Barbara, Goleta, California.
Santa Barbara, California. I'm extremely jealous. Mojijan, go ahead.
Yes.
Mojde Sabran. I live in the Philadelphia area. And happy to be here.
Very happy that you're here. Jessica, please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jessica Potter. I'm also from the Philadelphia area, just out in the suburbs.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you so much. Sylvia Gary.
Yes, we're from Oakville, Ontario, Greater Toronto area.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alice.
Alice Nightingale from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Perfect. Thank you. Isabel.
Isabel Mothler, Sturgeon Falls, Ontario, in West Nipissing.
God. Mr.
Other
Perry.
than-
I'm sorry, Isabel, what did you say? I apologize.
I just want to say hi to Care Cornetts in Vancouver.
Oh, you find your friends, you see? Very good. So invite friends and neighbors then for the next week. Mr. Perimal, introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Perimal. I'm from Australia. Earlier from Malaysia.
Yes, yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Mr. Perimal introduced to us many friends from Malaysia. Mr. Liu Chi, Juliet, we want to see your face. Introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'm Leo. Thanks to Mr. Parima, we are here.
Okay.
He visited us.
Hi, I'm Juliet. I'm from Malaysia.
We are both from Malaysia.
Sure, sure. Welcome, welcome. Hanum Badiyan, please go ahead.
This is Mrs. Badian from Woodbridge. And I have the same name as Peruz, but she's from the moon and I'm on the earth.
And she's from the sun. So she's from the sun, I'm from the moon. So you have both moon and sun and one screen. That's wonderful. Gibby.
All right, so I'm Gibby from Shediac, New Brunswick, Canada. It's Eastern Canada.
And who are you to me, Gibby?
To you, I'm your sister, Feroz, your loving sister.
Fantastic. I'm so glad you remember that.
Everybody's your sister. Okay.
Thank you, Gibby. Faride Jun, please, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us where you're coming from.
Faride Shahriari from Pasadena, California. I'm the one who rescued you with the balal.
Mrs. Shahriari, I met Mrs. Shahriari for the first time in Spain this summer. We attended a summer school. It was beautiful, and she brought me food. So, Farida Khanum, thank you ever so much. And thank you for joining us tonight. That's lovely. Thank you. Lynn?
My name is Lynn Barrett, and I am from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan on the shores of Lake Superior.
Oh my God. Thank you, our American sister. We love you.
And Lynn is a former student of mine from Northern Michigan.
Oh,
Yay!
wow.
Yeah.
What a small world.
Not just a
Wildcats.
former student, she was an outstanding student and a more outstanding teacher.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, how lovely. Lynn, come back next week. If Rod is not speaking next week, please do come back.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes.
Okay. Put your name and your email address in our chat if you wish. Hi,
Oh,
Michael.
most definitely. Okay.
Thank you. Hi, Michael. How are you? Thank you for showing your face to us.
So I'm located in Toronto today.
Okay.
I'm also a rural residence, 150 kilometers away from here. And I haven't been to the U.S. Virgin Islands for about 60 years when I was on a sailboat. But I remember the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Come again. I'd be happy to welcome you.
Wow. Wow. Wonderful. Thank you. Shahla June, we know each other, but please introduce yourself.
I am Shahlasti and I'm everybody's grandmother.
Doesn't look like a grandmother. You know, it's the Persian way.
I have 200 grandchildren and 200 children. And at the moment I live in Montreal. But I've moved 29 times in 49 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Never been to Virgin Island. And I'm wondering if the Virgin Islands were named after Virgin Queen Elizabeth.
No, I think it was actually Columbus who named them, and there was they considered there was like 10,000 islands, and so there's a story about 10,000 virgins and whatever.
Thank you for coming, Shahla June. Soraya,
My pleasure.
welcome, welcome. Hello, welcome, Soraya June.
Allahumma, I'm Soraya or Soraya, either one.
I haven't seen you here for a long time. Thank you for joining us.
I didn't get your emails. I thought you were off for summer.
I was. This is the second meeting after the summer, Soraya Khanum.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Let us know where you're joining us from.
Nearby Seattle, northeast Seattle.
Soraya Khanum, would you care to say a Turkish prayer after Mr. Perimal? So we'll start with 3 prayers. How about that?
I don't know Turkish. My mother knew, but I don't. I can read, but it might be mistaken in it.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, well, at the end of the session, then you will pray in whichever language. It just somehow dawned on me that you once read a prayer in Turkish. I made a mistake, probably.
That's okay. I've been practicing the one my mom used to say, and I will try it.
Maybe that's a hint. So, yeah, thank you so much. Roya June, welcome, welcome.
Roya Binai from Sydney, Australia. Very happy to be here.
Sydney, Australia, how lovely. If I don't have your email address, please put it in the chat.
I'm a regular for Uzjan.
Shame on me. Shame on me.
No, I never come with a picture.
Yeah, okay, I'm not a regular these days. I haven't been here for more than 2 months.
Yeah, but I get your emails. Thank you. I really enjoy being here. Thank you.
Niliju, would you like me to read your name and where you're coming from, or would you like to talk? Nili Sanoi is a sister of mine from Kitchener. We've known each other back in Iran. Wonderful story. Susan, can we see you? Susan, Philadelphia. Well, welcome, Susan. Francis, lovely to have you. We have missed you. Thank you for joining us. Do you hear me, Francis?
Yes, I can hear you. And I am from Guelph, Ontario, Canada.
Lovely,
I've
lovely.
been living here for 18 years.
Wonderful, Francis. That's very nice.
Very nice community.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Welcome. Thank you for having me talk.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you so much. I follow you on the Facebook. You know that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
Susan from Philadelphia. Um, Nikki June, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Nikki Solihian from Burlington, Ontario.
Lovely, lovely. ثابت خانم دهقانی, where do you where are
Hello,
you?
Appa. I'm from London, Ontario. I visit you sometime. Dr.
Love,
Seder's deepening.
thank you.
I remember you.
Thank you so much. Leslie is my sister, my another sister, but she doesn't know it. Leslie, do you think we can see your face?
Not tonight, thank you. I'm in the Champlain Islands in Vermont, in the US.
Oh, okay, okay. When you get home, please let me know. Katayun Khanum, go ahead, please. Okay. Olga, welcome, welcome. Olga from Russia. Olga, we love you. Thank you, and thank you for sharing this invitation with the whole wide world.
Welcome, Feroz. Good evening. It's morning here, and I will not show my face because I just woke up.
Don't worry, you're always beautiful. Olga, what time is it? And where are you right now?
It is still the same small town in the Far East, on the Amur River.
Okay, that's wonderful. What time is it there?
It's 8:21 in the morning.
Okay, perfect. I'm never awake at 8:21. Gary, how are you? I hope you can unmute yourself and we can see your face.
Aloha, I will be here momentarily, but that sounded like it wasn't an ask, that was a tell. So I will turn my camera on for a second. Aloha, everyone. I'm in the middle of something. I will be joining soon, but I'm here listening for now. Love you all. Aloha. And I'm in
Okay.
Brown Summit, North Carolina.
You know, Gary, you always have wonderful sentences, one after the other, and you know, we just have to say, okay. Okay, Gary,
All
so
right.
we'll wait to see you.
All right. I'll be right back.
Okay. Have I missed anyone?
There is someone that comes regularly on the telephone. She is a dear, dear friend of mine. I've known her for over 60 years. She's one of the early French Canadian Baha'is of Montreal. Her name is Yvette Parent. She comes on the telephone. I don't know where she is.
Last week she was here, 514, but I don't see her today. Susan,
I
Susan,
saw her
Susan.
earlier.
You saw her earlier?
Yes. So I'm going to call her and see what happened.
Sure, sure. Susan, we want to see your face. How are you? How is Philadelphia? Lovely to see you. You can talk? Okay, that's fine. We accept. Susan, put your email address on chat, okay? Okay, thank you. That's a deal. Friends, it's wonderful to be here, all of us from different parts of the world, to be together in such unity and love. Thank you for joining us for the past 5, 6 years. When I was away, I thought when I come back, nobody will join because it was more than 2 months of break. But that's wonderful. I think the break created new friends. So thank you very much. Before we start, I wanted to thank my friend, my dearest friend, Rod Clarkin, who accepted to be here with us tonight. We would like to start a prayer with Mr. Liu Chi from Malaysia and Juliet, and then we would have Mr. Perimal to say a healing prayer for one of our friends here who is dealing with cancer. Thank you again,
Can we
Mr.
also say a prayer for Pina, please?
Oh, okay. So after Mr. Perimal, why don't you say a prayer for Pina? That would be fantastic. We will all mute ourselves. Please go ahead, Mr. Lucci.
Yeah, open see the brain basam. Hai putera wujud sebulan daku di bumiku. Hai putera wujud sebulan daku di bumiku. Supaya di syurgaku aku dapat ingat ikau, supaya di syurgaku aku dapat ingat ikau. Demikianlah mata diriku dan dirimu akan dihiburkan. Demikianlah mata diriku dan dirimu akan dihiburkan.
Glory be to thee, O Lord my God. I beg of thee by thy name, through which he who is thy beauty had been established upon the throne of thy cause, and by thy name through which thou changest all things, and gatherest together all things, and calls to account all things, and rewarded all things, and preserved all things, and sustained all things. I beg of thee to guard this handmaiden who had fled for refuge to thee, and had sought the shelter of him in whom thou thyself art manifest, and had put her whole trust and confidence in thee. She is sick, O my God, and had entered beneath the shadow of the tree of thy healing, afflicted, and had fled to the city of thy protection, diseased, and had sought the fountainhead of thy favor, sorely vexed, and had haste to attend the wellspring of thy tranquility, burdened with sins, and had set her face toward the court of thy forgiveness. Attire her by thy sovereignty and thy loving kindness, O my God and my beloved, with the raiment of thy balm and thy healing, and make a quaff of the cup of thy mercy and thy favors. Protect her moreover from every affliction and ailment, from all pain and sickness, and from whatsoever may be abhorrent unto thee. Thou in truth art immensely exalted above all else except thyself. Thou art verily the healer, the all-sufficing, the preserver, the ever-forgiving, the most merciful. Baha'u'llah.
I'm going to say this prayer both for Pina Lim as well as Peter Adrians, who's just been back in the hospital yesterday, lives in our community. O God, my God, I beg of thee by the ocean of thy healing, and by the splendors of the day star of thy grace, and by thy name through which thou didst subdue thy servants, and by the pervasive power of thy most exalted word, and the potency of thy most august pen, and by thy mercy that hath preceded the creation of all who are in heaven and on earth, to purge me with the waters of thy bounty from every affliction and disorder, and from all weakness and feebleness. Thou seest, O my Lord, that suppliant waiting at the door of thy bounty, and him who has set his hopes on thee, clinging to the cord of thy generosity. Deny him not, I beseech thee, the things he seeketh from the ocean of thy grace, and the day star of thy loving kindness. Powerful art thou to do what pleaseth thee. There is none other God save thee, ever forgiving, the most generous.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it very, very much. Soraya, don't worry about the prayer at all. I would like to welcome the friends who are here for the first time, and I would like to thank Rod for being here, Dr. Clark, and he always obliges, and he's always more than happy to serve. Thank you very much. Always, always, I appreciate it. Uh, I would like to introduce him to you, although he does not need any introduction. He's been with us before.
Purusha, your voice is too low.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, it's better.
It's better?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let me sit a little closer. He sent me a very short bio, and I usually abide by the speaker's will. So I would just read these three lines and hope this would be enough. Dr. Rodney Clarkin is a professor emeritus from Northern Michigan University, where he served as a professor, director, and head of the School of Education from 1989 to 2012. He served as an assistant dean, at the University of Detroit from 1979 to 1983, and a professor at the University of the Virgin Islands from 1983 to 1988. He served at the Baha'i World Center from 2012 to 2019, and currently lives in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And his site, the address is there. That if anyone would like to have more information, please go to the invitation, and his address is there. Thank you so much, Rod, for accepting to be with us tonight. I would like to ask the friends all to mute themselves, and please, Rod, go ahead. He's going to speak about developing our potential, which seems to be something very difficult. Go ahead, Rod.
Very good. Thank you so much, Peruse. As always, I am so happy to be with you, and I love the spirit that Peruse brings to this gathering and the love she shares, and may that love continue. I am going to just share with you a few thoughts about human potential and developing our potential. And I want to have, especially we have a small group tonight, I'd like to have more of a conversation. So I want you to get ready with any questions you have. I'm assuming you all came to this gathering with some idea of what you were hoping to get out of it. And I am hoping to give that to you. I hope that everybody here, including myself, will leave tonight a better person than when they came, that they'll somehow be changed in the way they think, feel, or act, that this can lead to a transformation not only in their lives, but in the lives of their family and friends. And also, I'm hoping that out of our conversation, you can have more conversations. Developing our potential is something everybody should be interested in. And so it's something that we all can talk about. Tomorrow, you can say, dear friends, I listened to this talk about developing our potential. And what do you think? This is something that I thought about. And to start a conversation that's going to help you and help them, and hopefully help the world to be a better place. So I'm going to just give a basic framework about developing our potential. First of all, I'm going to focus on just two types of potential. We have our physical potential and we have our spiritual potential. Our physical potential is manifested through our bodies. We develop that potential quite naturally. In other words, I didn't have to consciously develop my seeing and hearing and my using my fingers. Unconsciously, I developed. I didn't have to focus on, oh, I need to grow these organs or I need to grow these muscles. All of that happened naturally without really much conscious effort on my part. And so when we are born, our first few years of life are really focused on developing our physical potential. And our physical potential, though, reaches its peak at about 15 to 20s, early 20s. And so, kind of doing a scan around the room here, I think most of us have passed that stage. And so we have all reached the peak of our potential and we are all going downhill. Some of us more rapidly than others, but basically from about 15 to 20 some, we have been dying. Our bodies have been, they reached their peak, they're going down. And as you get older, that curve, there will be a time when it's kind of plateaus, and then there's a time when it may go down rather rapidly. So if you want to know more about developing your potential, you're probably, it's too late, but you can go ahead. Science is the place to find the answer for that. A lot of people now are interested in extending their lives. That doesn't interest me very much because I'm more interested in the other potential we have, which is our spiritual potential. And so on contrary, I mean, we reached our peak for physical and then have been plateauing or declining since that time. We have been gradually going up on our spiritual potential. And that continues not only on until we die, but that then transitions to a next world. And we actually go into a whole new realm where our spiritual potential actually is our identity. Right now, we tend to identify with our bodies, or we then identify with our social and intellectual class, how we are viewed in our society. That can be according to our physical characteristics, or it can be according to certain characteristics, our jobs, our particular roles we play in society. But all of those things do not go with us to the next world. Actually, we have that material and we have the spiritual, and what moderates the two of them is the mental. our brains are physical, but the mental processing, the intellectual, the ability to reason, and the ability to make choices about do I do this or do I do that, and how I should react, are really spiritual. They operate through the body and the mind, but it is the soul that is the one that's directing that. And so our minds, though, also, especially the brains, which are connected with the body, our brains also go through a process and they start maturing, and they, the bodies go first, and then pretty soon around 15 or 16, the mind starts surpassing the body. And again, they reach a plateau somewhere later in life. And then they also, the normal process is that will decline to the extent that by the time you are ready to transition to the next world, your body and your mind are not very strong. You are ready to go to the next world. And I think that's part of the wisdom of this, our earthly journey, is that we go through this earth initially identified with our bodies, because that's what we develop through, and then our minds. And then as life goes on, we move into developing and focusing on our souls, because quite frankly, our souls keep going, and that's, these things are dying, and they will, then there is going to be a point where they are no longer, and then this continues on. So one of the metaphors I sometimes use is to compare our soul's development to the development of the embryo in your mother's womb. So all the time you were in your mother's womb, you were developing all the physical capacities you needed in this world. You couldn't use them in that world. They couldn't manifest themselves. All of these things were, you were in the womb, you can see here, all any of those things. But when you are born, all of those things become necessary and helpful for your development in this world. Similarly, we are in this world now. This world is the womb of our souls. And this body serves kind of as the placenta to our souls. It is the vehicle by which we feed the soul, the soul grows. It needs this to grow, but it is not who we are. And so when we die, this body gets left behind, just like when we are born into this world. The placenta, which fed the embryo, which was really the only way that that embryo could survive, is also cast aside. So I want to talk now about what is the process of developing our potential of the soul, and realizing that, and again, I'm going to be simplifying things and just giving you an overview so we can dive deeper and have a conversation. But there are basic three potentials of the soul that we are going to focus on tonight. The first is our knowing potential. Our souls have the capacity to know things. They also have the capacity to feel and to love. And finally, they have the capacity to choose. It is that capacity that says, I will go right or I'll go left. And so this world is the place that you develop those spiritual muscles here. It's by exercising your knowing, your loving, and your willing capacities that you develop your spiritual potential. So our potential is to know, love, and will. How do we develop that? Well, partly the wisdom of that is having this body, and the mind has the spiritual part, and I'm going to call it the material part, which we'll call the lower self or the ego. Just for short, we're going to call it ego. All of us have an ego. All of us have a body. Those are things that get left behind. There is the higher thinking. And so our soul, to develop itself, it actually has to work against this body and this ego, because this body and ego want to be fed. They want to satisfy their desires. They're selfish. They are wanting to be the center of attention. They want their needs met. They want to be taken care of. Because we have that body, the soul then has to develop muscle to be able to say, no, we're not going to go left, we are going to go right. Even though the soul is saying, oh, but I want to do this, or the ego is saying, oh no, this is better than doing that. This will tell you to go one way, and it's because you have that you get to exercise your soul. So having a strong body, having a strong ego is not necessarily a bad thing. The bad thing is if you allow them to control your life. You need to be controlling them. Your soul needs to be telling your body what to do, not your body telling your soul what it's going to do. The ego needs to be obedient to the soul, not the soul to the ego. And what we see today in society is very much the opposite. People are looking for happiness and fulfillment in trying to meet their physical, hedonistic, egotistic desires, when true happiness and true well-being comes from spirituality and living a good life. And so these three capacities, to know, love, and to will, have to be channeled if we're going to develop our potential. And so we have to channel them away from the body towards God. So initially, we know, love, and will what our body says to do. Then gradually, we will know, love, and will what our egos say we should do. Ultimately, we need to transcend those two and know, love, and obey what God wants us to do, not what our bodies, our egos want us to do. That's what we're here on this earth for. That is our purpose. That is our potential. Our potential is to know, love, and obey God by using our knowing, loving, and willing capacities, which are they're faculties of the soul, by tapping into the power of the Holy Spirit. And as we progress, we develop more strength and more ability. And those initial tests become no longer tests. We begin to see the problems of this world are really opportunities for us to develop our full potential. And if you study the Baha'i writings throughout will say our purpose in life is to know, love, and obey God. But they also say that the purpose the prophets were sent was to help us realize our full potential. So our purpose in life is to realize our potential. It is our spiritual purpose, just as to know, love, and worship God. And so there's many avenues, many ways we can go with that, but I'm going to close this part and I'm going to ask people to either raise their hand, type in the chat, let Feroz know, and we're going to have a conversation, because there's 100 ways we can talk about this. What do you want to hear?
Thank you so much, Rod. Friends, feel free. Please go ahead. By the way, welcome, Gary. Shalajun, any ideas?
I think somebody put something in the chat. I don't know if it was a question or a comment. Shala, go ahead.
Yes, you mentioned that our body, of course, is of this world and our soul is of the next. But you said that our intellect is spiritual, but I see the intellect as combo. I think of intellect as the corridor that in it has both. And then we kind of in this corridor decide whether we are going to use the things of this world to achieve the things of the next, or whether or not we're going to just vegetate in, in here. So I don't know. Somehow I see intellect as combo. What do you think?
Well, I think all of these things you can look at them in different ways. But I think when we think of the intellect, any of these powers, these are spiritual powers. When you read Baha'u'llah's writings, he says, you know, vision, hearing, speech, all of these things are all just different manifestations of the spirit, the human spirit, the soul manifesting through itself. So when it comes through the mouth, it's called speech. When it comes through the eyes, it's called vision. And when it comes through the mind, it's called knowledge or intellect. So we have the opportunity to use these in a spiritual way or in a material way. And so these qualities are kind of trust from God that everybody's been endowed with. We all have been created rich. We're all noble. We all have been created from the same dust. So all of this, I mean, if we want to say, well, I'm somehow better than somebody else, this is just dust. Ultimately, it's just dust. And we can compare our dust, you know, some dust is formed this way or that way, but in the end, it's just dust. It is not who we are. It is the vehicle that we operate through. It is the way that we relate to the world. And so this is one of the problems we have in this world. We put so much emphasis on this, and we don't take this to the next world. That I happen to be I look this way, I'm a certain gender, certain whatever, or I dress in a certain way. This is like clothes to my body. So you may judge me by the clothes that I'm wearing, but it's not me. It's just what I happen to be wearing in this world. This is what God gave me to wear. I'm trying to take care of it. The garment's getting worn out. I'm going to be discarding it pretty soon. But while I've got it, I'm taking care of it. But it's just a garment. And if I get too attached to it, I'm missing the point of this world. This world is not meant for me to focus on the garment. You need to focus on the person or the thing wearing the garment, which this garment is being worn by the soul, and it's just using it for this time. So if I think, oh, well, how good looking or how strong or whatever thing I want to get wrapped up in, all of that's going to be taken away. It is here today, it is gone tomorrow. The only thing that lasts is the soul. And again, when we can see that with spiritual eyes, we see the pettiness of thinking that, well, this group of people or this body is better than that body, whether it's according to attractiveness, according to gender, according to race, according to class, according to whatever clothes they're wearing. All of those things are absolutely superficial and in the end meaningless, but they are the things that this world concentrates on, and it diverts us from our true purpose in life, which is to develop that inner person that is the one that brings true happiness to you. And so it is first of all, we can never understand the soul. So for us, we're just trying, and that's why I like to use metaphors, because it's beyond our capacity. It'd be like my going into the womb of the mother and saying, you know what? I'm going to tell you what this next world is like. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have a body, and you're going to be able to see, and you're going to be able to run and pick up things and hear things and speak. And it'd be like, there's no language that that embryo could understand this world. There is no language that we can truly understand the next world and the soul, what the soul will be like. But we are given certain signs and symbols and certain levels of understanding. And from that understanding, we are, and I treat those, and those really come through what we might call the Word of God or the sacred scriptures. By studying them, we get to know, well, oh, I should be good, which should be the same way going in the thing. Oh, I should develop eyes. Well, there's nothing in the womb. We didn't have a choice. God said, you know, our DNA told us what to do. I didn't choose to be whatever body I got. I got it. And I didn't choose my brain. I didn't choose any of that. All of that was given to me by God. And I just have a responsibility now to use that, because it's a trust of God, that God has given this trust to develop in this particular condition. And so all of these things kind of in this world, yeah, intellect can be very material. And I'm assuming the worldly knowledge that I have, I'm not going to take with me, just like the knowledge that the embryo had, that, oh, now I should divide. These cells should become eyes and these should become teeth. And, I don't need that knowledge anymore. I needed that knowledge there. I use that knowledge. But once I've left there, that knowledge, it's gone. It's not worth it to me. So the worldly knowledge, it's not that knowledge, it's how we use it and how we acquire it, and whether we use it for service to God and humanity or to serve our own selfish interest. And if you're serving your selfish interest, that's going to serve you in this world. It's not going to serve you in the next. If you serve God, that's going with you and humanity.
Can I take it a step further? Because I think of
Sure.
myself as a holistic person.
Yep.
To me, my body, my intellect, and my soul are equally important. One is not
Uh-huh.
more important than the other in this world. So
Yeah.
I concentrate on all the three. I say to myself, in order for my intellect to work well, I have to give it an education. I
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
in order
Yeah.
for my body to stay
Yeah.
well, I need to exercise and eat properly. In order for my soul to develop, I need to pray and develop all the virtues. But I don't consider one more important than the other. And I'm wondering if that's okay, or do you think that I should be concentrating and thinking of one of more importance and the other one less important?
Well, this is again, I'm sharing my understanding, and I struggle with this to try and understand. I have been studying this for over 50 years to try and understand, but my understanding is the soul is definitely the most important. And that what happens is maybe, to use a different metaphor, that this body becomes like the rider, like a steed that you would ride, and your soul is the rider. So it is important that you take care of the vehicle that's going to carry you about in this world, but that is not who you are. And you should not become attached to that. So I think that's part of the question, is a matter of attachment. And so your vehicle is supposed to serve the master. the soul, not the other way around. And so this, the soul, does have priority. But the point is we don't, in this condition, we don't discriminate and say, well, this is my body, this is my mind, this is my soul. It's all one to us. Although, I mean, there are times if you're meditating, if you're praying, you may get this detachment of not being in your body, not even being in your mind. You just feel a oneness with God or a oneness with nature. You know, these kind of transcendent feelings come to us when we are in spiritual communion, and we can kind of leave behind these trouble, these things that cause us so much suffering, because this body, this ego, is the cause of all of our suffering. It is not our souls, and the suffering comes when we don't listen to our souls. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
so, but it's our spiritual responsibility to take care of our bodies and to cultivate our minds. So I mean that, but we don't take our bodies and that worldly mind with us. But the fact that we worked on them, we took care of them not for my ego, not for me, like, look at how beautiful I am, but for service to God. That spirit goes with us. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Rod. We have dearest Olga from Russia and Gary. So, Olga John, go ahead, please. Unmute yourself.
It's nice to hear Olga John. Yeah, dear Rod, it's
Dear Olga,
very happy to see
love
you
to.
always
I'm
in all
so happy.
communities.
Mm.
I've been thinking about ego because it is kind of our enemy, right? And we're supposed to harness this. And I've been thinking
Yeah.
about this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I've been collecting data about this enemy. And you once in one of your talks, you mentioned the way you defined ego, and it seemed interesting to me. Ego, you said, is mental self. And I've been thinking about this ever since. It is still unclear to me. Could you maybe talk about this in more detail? How is this mental self? What is it like, mental self?
Well, again, when we use these terms, they get very, very confusing. So I'm going to give you a number of the metaphors that the Baha'i writings and other religious writings use for the ego. The one that's most popular is the devil or Satan. So when people say the devil made me do it, or it's Satan, get Satan out of you, it's not. Satan is a symbolic representation of our egos, of our desires to make me more important than you, to make me better than you, to make to take care of me and to ignore and to forget about God, to forget about. So that's the devil, that's Satan, or it's the tempter, or it's the lower self, it's the animal self, it's the vain imaginings and idle fancies. That's another term the Baha'i writings use to describe the ego, because it leads you astray. It's a veil. It's the thickest veil we have to keep us from recognizing God. And so there are all of these metaphors. And so when we use the term self, self really has two meanings. The one self is the ego lower body self, the insistent self. Thank you, Moji. That's the exact term that Abdu'l Baha uses. The insistent self. And that an insistent self is because it is the tempter. It is always insisting on, no, I am more important, or no, I should be first, or those people don't really understand me. And whatever voices this ego devil lower self is telling you, And that's our job in this world, is to overcome this lower self with our higher self. So we basically have two egos. And in different religions, they'll say you have your, the good angel and then the devil. And each one of them is, no, do this, no, do that. Yeah, yeah. And we have those forces in us. And that's just a way that to help people to kind of symbolize this force that obviously we can't see. Ego is a new term. There wasn't a name for that. So when I say the mental self, it probably is misleading. It'd be more likely, I'd be better to say it's more the physical self, but it is our worldly identity. This that I am this person and I have this station and whatever, who am I, whatever, which is one of the reasons I don't really like to share my whole bio thing. It's like, that doesn't matter. What I did, all of those things are meaningless. They mean a lot in this world, but in a spiritual context, they're absolutely meaningless. In the next world, nobody's going to say any of those things about me, because none of those things are going to go with me. What's going to go with me is how I did whatever I did, how I used whatever God gave me. Now, maybe God gave me a lot more than I've used, and I should have been, somebody who would have changed the world, but I was kind of lazy and I thought, oh, I'm smart, but I'm not gonna, I'm gonna just float around. No, and so we don't know what spiritual capacity we were given. Every one of us has not only a different physical body, not only a different mind, we all have unique souls, and we all will be known by those souls. Just like if I see you on the street, you would say, oh, I recognize you, you're Rod. In the next world, spiritually, we're going to be able to recognize one another based on their spiritual faculties and capacities. They're going to have a spiritual, we're going to know their spirit. But what happens is we get blinded by this and by, oh, Dr. Clarkin, and he was this or that. That is absolutely, it's actually a test. It's not a test for me because I realize it's stupid. It doesn't mean anything, but it can be a test for other people that, oh, he's so good looking. He's a good speaker. He's a good Baha'i. All of those labels can attach to the ego, and then the devil is saying, oh yeah, I am pretty smart, or I am pretty good, and well, I don't look so bad really. And that's just stupidness. That's the devil. That's the insistent self, because it's always there. I mean, I feed my body and I think, okay, I fed my body, I'm done. No, in an hour, 2 hours, it's going to say, feed me, water me. I need to rest my body. It's insistent. It is always telling you to take care of it. This ego, until you tame it, is always telling you, no, take care. I need some attention. I need a little love. I need somebody to tell me how wonderful I am. And whatever, all this stupidness that I need to put other people down so that I'm going to feel better. Um, these are all the insistent self, the lower self. The higher self is the soul. It's the God self. And Baha'u'llah says that actually he has known his own self, have known God. Who had known God has known his own self. So the only real way we can come to know God is to know our own selves, not this self, that spiritual self from which we were actually created. This is not the image of God here. The image of God are all those names and attributes that we can manifest if we cultivate them. We have to choose to cultivate them. In the womb, we didn't choose, oh, I'm going to develop this and this and this. In this world, we get to choose. We get to develop it. And in the next world, we're going to be judged not by how whatever, how good we look here or whatever. We're going to be judged on what we did with what God gave us. And God gave us all something different. And God gave us all something unique. Each one of us has something that is unique. For instance, if we just use our bodies as a metaphor, God gave us all bodies, and all of our bodies can pretty much all do pretty much similar things. But some of our bodies can run faster than others, can hit a ball or shoot a ball or whatever you do, or dance or sing, or your bodies can do more than another bodies because our bodies are unique. The same is true. Our souls all have been given unique capacities. Some of us may have more, let's say, intellectual capacities. Some of us may have more loving capacities. Some of us may have greater willing capacities. We can discipline and take care of business. But it's for us to find out what God has given us and to develop it, because this is a trust that God gave us, and we need to account for that trust. That's why you should bring yourself to account each day ere you're summoned for a reckoning, because you will be summoned for a reckoning. And that reckoning, you're not going to be able to go back and say, oh, I should have been a little kinder, or I shouldn't have, why was I so egotistical? Why did I spend so much time doing stupid things and we have to realize this is a new narrative. We all here were raised in different cultures, but the Western culture I was raised in said, this is what's important, that you're good looking. This is what's important, that you're smart and that you have a good job and you make a lot of money. That's what's important. That's going to bring you happiness. That is not true. And it is not what Baha'u'llah says. And we have bought that story. And as a result, our civilization is collapsing. And it is collapsing rapidly, and it's going to be collapsing more dramatically. And if you are attached to this or this world, get ready to suffer, because it's going to be torn from you. Thank you. I do get carried away. I'm sorry. You're muted, Farouz.
Thank you so much. Gary has a question, and I have a very important question, Rod. So why don't
Okay.
we go with Gary? Gary is the boss in this
I'm
fireside.
not the boss. I'm
And
just.
you are.
You
Yeah.
see what DITP is dust in the pathway. That's all I want to be, is dust in the pathway. I'll just love
Oh, okay.
that's what it is. Dust in the pathway.
Okay.
So I love your what you said about the placenta being that of the body. And the placenta just, it supplies nutrients and oxygen supply, waste removal, hormone production, immune protection, gas exchange, all of those things. So what it made me think of this body being that, it's how God, this body is like the placenta. I love that because where it illustrates how God nurtures creation. And my thought got away from me. All of these things developed in this frame that we need, and like the placenta, we leave it behind, but we develop all of those things in this frame, but it's left behind. And the reality of man is our thoughts, Abdul Baha said. And so when I started thinking myself as the noble being that Baha'u'llah said that I am, I started moving in that light. So you have my mind all over the place about this being this body like placenta, because it's all, we develop it, that's it, but we leave it behind. And and that analogy you raised with the like that, the world of the in the womb, what we develop, what we do not develop in the womb of our mothers, we enter this physical space physically handicapped, and what we don't develop in this physical realm will enter the spiritual world spiritually handicapped. That's that's a thought that's always been in my head. But but I love the way, I just love your mind, and I just thank you for it, because now I'm going to deep dive into some writings that much more, and it's what do we do after these, after we have these enlightening conversations. It's not just that match writing for writing, prayer for prayer. It is the fuel that has us navigating through the space. That's what it's used for. So other than that, what they're just mere words. And he didn't come and present us mere words. We are charged to do something. We have been chosen to do this task. And so what is it that we do? And it's not a thing of measurement within your capacity. And his grace and mercy allows us all to contribute that which he knows is in us already. So I just always love hearing you speak, my brother.
Thank you, Gary. I love hearing you speak too. Thank you. And it's just something you said there, you know, one of the things the ego does, it's always comparing. And that's why you're never going to be happy in the ego, because there's always somebody stronger than you, somebody smarter than you, better at whatever. So if you are living in that world, you are always going to be miserable, because you're always going to be seeing other people better, and you're always going to be feeling like, oh, I've got to make more money, or I've got to have a bigger, better car, whatever, or I've got to, it's a stupidness that we get all wrapped up in.
And one last piece to that, because you made me think about, I forgot to include, is that when I was striving to please man, according to man's script, I always fell short, because I could never measure up, because there's always something, there's something bigger, fell short. But when I strive to please God and God alone, I have this peace that no man can touch, because he, as I am, and he knows, and he's, again, I'm striving along. I'm never going to attain that place of perfection, but I'm striving along. So there's movement, and his mercy, love, and forgiveness is what allows us all. That's the springboard that allows us to continue striving on the pathway. So again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, because what you just said is almost, it's a paraphrase of what Abdu'l-Baha wrote in a tablet. And it's in the tablets revealed after, recent tablets. So tablets and prayers of Abdu'l-Baha. But basically, somebody had written him, and it was saying, how do I please, I can't please. And he says, I'm Abdu'l-Baha. I can't please people. If you try to please people, you will always be unhappy. You will never satisfy people. But if you try to please God, that's very easy. God is always easy. And so we have to, but we spend our whole life trying to please some narratives, trying to fit into some idea about who we should be that we can't be. They create this image, and then they try to sell us products to make us think, okay, well, this will make me be happier, because I'm going to get more I will please other people. You will never please other people. And if you if you need to seek validation from one place only, and that's God. And that was a turning point in my life. There was a point, because I was smart, I was popular, I went around and I played on that. I was, the golden boy. And then there was a point where that wasn't working. And it was like, I realized I had been kind of playing two games here. I was satisfying this lower self by, yeah, I was climbing the ladder, moving up on the hierarchy and academia and that. But I was also doing this. And then finally I realized I am focusing too much. I'm laying too much treasure here. I care too much about what other people think about me. And it ruined my life. And just going through that, and that's where I think sometimes having severe tests in life, maybe you become somehow physically or mentally affected, or something happens to you materially, all of a sudden you are happier because you realized you have to dig into your true self and not stay attached to this superficial self that you could get away with it. And so sometimes the people who are, say, the popular ones have a little bit harder time. And the wealthy, the same, it talks about in the writings, the wealthy, it's harder for them to develop that because it's so easy to stay attached to this. Doesn't get challenged, this lower self. That, I mean, if you're very, very wealthy or very have all of these things, people are they're gonna give you whatever you want. You're gonna be able to feed that ego. But once that ego gets challenged, then you're gonna have to rely on God, and that's where you really grow.
Thank you, Rod. Rod, Molly both wrote in chat and she raised her hand too.
Yes, I could read it if you don't mind.
Yes, would you please?
Okay.
Please.
Okay, I read it. Once souls and talents from this world you have accomplished in this world, inspire souls you accomplish, for example, in music, art, science, spirituality, progression, intercession. And you see, I've been to concerts where I could see like a violinist channeling. You could see the twitching and really
Yes.
inspired. It's amazing to watch them. So I think that helps the souls in this world that have talents help the next world.
And vice versa.
Yes, definitely.
It's like when you were in the womb, you weren't alone. You had your mother, you had your father, you had your whole a community that was taking care of you, that was loving you, that was, making sure you were going to be okay. We have a host of people right now who are trying to help me to say the right thing, to not have my ego come into play, that are surrounding me with love and care. I don't see them because I have this flesh keeping me, veils me from seeing them. Just like when I was in my mother's womb, I didn't see my mother and father. They were there. And if they weren't there, I would not have thrived. I would have not made it. If it wasn't for those holy souls, I wouldn't be thriving right now. I depend on that. And having that humility, having that knowledge, allows me then, I think, to draw on that.
Yes.
So we help them by our prayers.
Yes.
Obviously, if I'm in my mother's womb, if I'm making life hard for her, that's not a good thing. But uh, but so I can help, but mostly they can help us,
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Rod. There is one more comment in the chat, and then I have a question. It is 8:25. Care writes, in recent years, I have become interested in neurodiversity and how we can't possibly judge each other or even ourselves. Please comment.
I'd love to comment because that is such a key idea. So not only do we judge people by this, but we judge people by this. And that gets manifested by how they speak. So if you don't speak a certain way, people are immediately, they're thinking less of you or more of you. They are judging you. And if you are thinking in a different way, if you see reality different, you know, just as we have physical diversity, we definitely have neurodiversity, much more neurodiversity than we have physical diversity, because our bodies can only go so many ways. I can normally I'm going to have 5 fingers, not 6, but our minds can go so many more ways, and our souls can go so many more ways than that. And so we don't know what other person's conditions are. You're looking at me and you're saying, oh, he's this or he's that, but you don't know. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on inside me. You don't know in 2 minutes I could have a stroke. I couldn't speak. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't do anything. But my soul is the same soul that is now talking to you and listening and responding to you. So we have to recognize that this is very temporary, and if this goes and this goes, my soul is still intact. And so I try in my own way, when I look at a person, as I look at the faces here, I try not to see the body, and I try not to weigh, I try to say there is a soul behind that garment that is noble, it is beautiful, it has some beautiful attributes and capacities, and whatever I am seeing is not that soul. I need to stop making some judgments. Oh, that person looks this way or they sound this way, because Baha'u'llah says that the soul is independent of and exalted above the mind and the body. So what does that mean? That goes back to Shala's earlier question, that it's exalted above is another statement of Baha'u'llah, saying that it is higher than the mind. It means that whatever my physical and mental capacity does not necessarily reflect my soul. Now, it is my soul that reflects out of there. But if my body, if I have a stroke, for instance, and I can't move my mouth, or I can't move my body, or my mind is not working, does not change who I am. It will change how you look at me. It will change how you relate to me. But that's because we live in this material world, and we are so tied into this material reality. But who I am has not changed. And when I die and this is left behind, who I am will not change. Who you may be related to me as in this world will change. So I think, yeah. And that's the other thing is we look at somebody and we say, well, why are they doing that? Why are they acting that way? Or why are they so difficult? We do not know what other people are going through. And it is very, very harmful for us to be judging in a way that is not fair to them. The best beloved of all things is justice, and we definitely don't practice that much. So, and love is the foundation. So I think thank you, Kara, for that question. I hope that answers it. Because the other thing is I could get a mental illness, I actually am right now on a certain hormone therapy. That hormone has changed me. My whole body is running on hormones. It's an electrochemical garment. That electrochemical, if I change, which I have changed, I'm doing hormone therapy, and that has changed my body. It not only changed my body, it affects my mind. All of us we could take a pill and be somebody very different, but we are the same person because we could change that. We could change our hormonal balance, which happens to all of us. You know, we go through different stages of life. Our hormones change, then we change, but has our souls changed? No, those are just opportunities for our souls to react to these changes and chances of the world, to say that, oh yeah, my body is got less energy than it used to have, but I have to deal with that. You know, that's the trade-off between this and that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Care, that was a great question. I appreciate it. You know, you can always actually talk loud, unmute yourself and speak. But if you don't want, that's fine. Thank you.
Well, just a very quick response because I know you're wanting to say something, I think, Farouz.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead?
Okay. Well, Care, you know, I'm the host, so I should kind of be quiet and let others talk. But let me ask this question. You know, Rod, I come from a country in which the situation of the next world and the soul and the stuff after death comes across very scary because
Oh,
people adhere to some spiritual teachings which belong to 2000 years ago, and for them soul or next world or hell and heaven, these concepts are very confusing, and
yeah,
people only do go good in order to go to heaven. Even
yeah,
even to, you know, to this minute, when you look at the documentation they share with others, you see how much the fear of the next world and the hell and heaven and all of that the Bob had already totally uh, took care of it, and now is still in the forefront of people's minds. So, um, is there, just shortly, is there any way when you talk with people who believe in that kind of theology, that you can be convincing, that you can look forward to death, your soul is your most important dimension, and the rest of it?
Well, first of all, one way is to say we're already in the next world. We're in that world now. We just don't see it. We don't experience. Just like when we're in our mother's womb, we're already in this world. And all the things about this world affects that world. But because we're in that womb and that there are different physics that go on there, but that next world, we're already in it, and we visit that world in some way when we are in our dreams, because without a body and our mind, our legs, we travel, we think, we meet people, we see people who have died, and all of this. So that's one way. The second part, I am afraid my understanding is different than yours, because there is heaven and a hell, and there is reason to fear God, and there is a reason to be good, and that's one of the reasons we are told we're told three things. We're told we need to know God, we're told we need to love God, and we are told we need to fear God. Those are the three things that come up, and you know what? The fear of God comes up more than the love of God in many places. And so, why is it that we should fear God? That's a big, big topic, and not one that we can get in with. But Baha'u'llah says that if you know, one of the reasons we can't see the next world is that if we could, those souls who have lived a good life would so long to be there that they would not want to stay in this world. They would just want to go. those people who have not lived a good life would be filled with so much consternation, trembling, and fear that they also couldn't carry on. And so there is that. Um, what these are all metaphors. We don't know what heaven or hell looks like, paradise, or any of these things. All of these are, like you say, stories that were told to certain groups of people at certain times of history. At another time, they told a story about reincarnation. All of them are just stories. And my story about the embryo is also just a story. It's a story to help us understand, but it is just a story. We don't know. We can't know. And if we did know, we would not be here. We'd either going on or died away.
Thank you so much. Isabel has put something very interesting in the chat. And I think at the end of it, uh, she talked about the fact that today was my first day of chemotherapy. And
Mm.
yeah, so Isabel, if you want to read what Abu Baha wrote, you're more than welcome. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, you
Do
go ahead and read it if you like it and want to share.
Isabel, you looked fantastic to me. Whatever chemo had done to you has been excellent.
I don't. That's a funny thing. I have felt great all along. I do not feel bad. I'm very happy. I'm actually joyous, and I think that Abdu'l Baha says, to be joyful under all conditions. And I actually think, much along the same lines, that suffering winnows out the chaff from the wheat.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
that goes back to we've always known that, because at the end of our days we all suffer. None of us gets out of here alive,
Something. Yep.
and that suffering is a cause for starting to value what is very important. And I think that goes with every religion. At that point in your life where you see and you look around yourself and you go, I don't need this, I don't need that, I don't need this. You start clearing
Mm.
out your house, you get rid of
Mm.
all your attachments. And by getting rid of those attachments, you become happier.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have a reason for going through chemo, but it's not a reason that has to do with wanting to extend my life. I last year when I first came down with the cancer, I already came to a point of contentment. But I live in a very small community, and my house and my home is the place where people gather. It's been a safe place for many years for people to talk about things that they need. So I'm trying to devise ways to let that continue once I'm out of the way.
Well,
Sounds
And
good.
yeah.
Isabel, with what I saw, Rod says sounds good, but I'm a Persian and I'm telling you that I saw you and you looked great. And wait until we have our fireside at your home, and other friends will join us with Zoom. Please be in touch with us. We would like to see how you're feeling, Isabel. Isabel, do I have your email address?
Yes, I'm on your list.
Okay,
Do you
Isabel.
want? I'll read this quote from Abdu'l Baha.
Perfect. That would be fantastic. Go ahead, please.
If thou art desirous of health, wish thou health for serving the kingdom. I hope thou mayest attain a perfect insight, an inflexible resolution, a complete health and spiritual, physical health, in order that thou mayest drink from the fountain of eternal life and be assisted by the spirit of divine confirmation. Engage thou in commemorating God at every morn, and turn unto the horizon of mercifulness. This next part is kind of my favorite. Take some honey, recite Ya Baha'u'llah Baha, and eat a little thereof for several days. For these thy prevailing disease are not on account of sins, but they are to make thee despise this world and know that there is no rest and composure in this temporal life.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Thank you so much. Isabel, we love you. Thank you
Mm.
very much. We want to come over and have honey with you. I will bring a Persian tea, so we'll have Persian tea together.
Well, I used to be a beekeeper years ago too, so I have a special affinity for bees.
That's wonderful. First, I would like to welcome my cousin, Mr. Bijan Partovi. Thank you very much for being here. Also, I would like to welcome Pina. Pina, we heard you're not feeling well. Could you show your face to us? Is there anything you would like to share?
Hi, guys. Thank you. Thank you. So nice to see you all. Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Much better. Getting much better. Thank you so much for all your prayers and all your encouragements. Thank you.
We missed you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Pina, would you be
Technology should drive all social and political decisions.
My fault. I'm on another call, but I saw Pina and I just wanted to say hi. I send my love and prayers and I keep my prayers around you. I sent them to you when I saw you pop up, but I'm on a call, but I couldn't go without saying I love you and you're in my prayers, beloved.
Technology, regardless.
Gary, you can't be in 5 places at the same time.
This is an important call. I had to take this call, but I'm still here. You see, I'm still connected. I can't leave this space.
Only saints can be in different places at the same time. Gary, it's about 20 to 9. We will start our devotional in 5 minutes. Will you be over with your phone call by any chance?
I will pause and let them know that I'll be here for this and then I'll come back. It's an important call that I had scheduled ahead of time.
I understand. Yes.
Okay, but yes, I'm still here to the last person standing.
Okay, perfect. Friends, we have 5 minutes. Molly, is it something quick? Please go ahead. Molly?
Yeah.
Okay,
if a person has problems, change of behavior, they were just beautiful, and all of a sudden they have a brain dysfunction, and they're very difficult to live with, and they cause a lot of concerns for the family, a lot of pain. And I'm just wondering, does that affect the soul because of their behavior in the next world?
Well, first of all, we can't know for sure, but we do know that anything that you might do to my brain, anything could cause me to go this way or that way.
That's right.
And it isn't necessary, and I may not have any control over it, and other people may not have any control. Like some people may have a tic or something. They don't have a control over it. And so if we blame them, then it's like the person who can't walk. We say, well, if you just tried harder, you would be able to walk. Or, that we don't sometimes see the mental. And we also don't see what other people are carrying as, we're hearing this and that. And as Isabel was saying, she is going through chemo. I also will be I have cancer and will be going through some treatment in the near future. So I can relate to that. And this is life. This is our struggles and
the struggle.
Things we go through.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Molly. Appreciate it. Olga, please go ahead.
Thanks a lot. I always have a ton of questions. And I love to annoy people with my questions. It's a quick one.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about this also for quite a while. People often often talk about happiness, and Baha'is also often say where we should be joyful under all circumstances, and to serve other people we should make them happy. And I constantly hear this word happy, 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 joyful. And what is truly behind this word? I think there can be different interpretations of this. And what would be the true, um, maybe spiritual or maybe divine
Yeah,
sense of this? What is
yeah.
the true reason of happiness?
Well, again, I'm going to kind of simplify it with the lower self and higher self, or the body, the material self and the spiritual self. We have a physical ego kind of happiness. My ego is happy when people are praising it and telling me how wonderful I am. My body is happy when it has its food and all of its needs and desires are met. But that kind of happiness goes, as soon as I don't have the food, as soon as people aren't praising me, then I'm not happy. When you have spiritual, so this happiness comes and goes. It's superficial, it doesn't last. And but this happiness is eternal, it lasts. And so this happiness is, and the the again, I'm trying to be in a very concise way. Baha'u'llah, in one of his tablets, said that the virtues and attributes of God have all been manifest and described in the holy books. Among them, and then he lists a series of attributes. And I'm just going to give you those series of attributes, because to me, those are the key to happiness. Abdul Baha time and again says, if you want to be happy, be spiritual. That's the whole thing. But what does spirituality look like? So we find out what spirituality looks like by reading the writings. They give us what that looks like. But here is a kind of a good definition of spirituality. And I'm sharing it because it goes quite contrary to what our Western minds, our modern thinking is about what happiness looks like. So he says, among these attributes are truthfulness and trustworthiness, purity of heart while communing with God, forbearance, resignation to whatever the Almighty hath decreed, and contentment with what his will hath provided. Patience, nay, thankfulness in the midst of tribulation, and complete reliance upon God. These rank among the highest and most laudable of all acts before God. So if we think about those things, those are not the things we associate with happiness, but those are the keys to happiness. And I want to focus, John, on the latter part of them. Resignation to what the God hath decreed. This is a big cause of our unhappiness. First of all, the Buddha said life is suffering. His whole teachings were about how do we stop the suffering. And he came up with the Eightfold Path. All of the religious writings are how do we overcome the suffering of this world? How do we overcome sin, which is the cause of suffering? So he says resignation to what the Almighty hath decreed. We don't know what's decreed. We are so much trying to change and so worried about things that God has decreed that we are wasting our time, our energy, and we're bringing so much unhappiness on ourselves. And it's a Western thing, I think. We should not be, we should be resigned to that. We need to be content with what God's will has provided. God made me this way. God may put me in the family he put me in. God put me here and did that. I am not, if I can't be content with God's will, then I am going to suffer and be continually unhappy. If I can be content, it's like, all right, this is what I was given. I'm going to do the best I can with it. I'm not going to mope around and think, well, why didn't he make me taller or stronger or whatever, better looking? Stupid. You know, patience, nay, thankfulness in the midst of tribulation. Now, I'm doing better on the first two. This one's a bit harder. When troubles come, I shouldn't just be patient. I need to be thankful. God sent those tribulations for my perfecting, for me to develop. When I had that problem, when people are attacking my ego, that was like one of the big tests of my life. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. It's often these tests in our lives that we should be thankful for because they're what causes us to turn to God. They're what causes us to grow. And then finally, he says, complete reliance upon God. Now, all of these things need to be unpacked, but though, if you want a prescription for happiness, try that one. The Baha'i writings have an extensive literature on it. I'm editing a book that I've written on developing human potential. I just have been editing the chapter on happiness, and it's it's a big chapter. I have to cut it down because it's bigger than the other. I'm trying to keep the chapters, the next chapter is virtue, virtues cause happiness. The next chapter is on virtues bring honor and distinction. So, but see, our culture is very wrapped up in this happiness thing, but
Rod,
it's often very superficial.
yeah, Rod, would it be possible for you to put those two pieces of writings in chat or maybe send it to me so I will add it to the invitation for the next fireside? You just read how Abdul Baha said what brings happiness, and now you mentioned
Yeah.
two different. Would you kindly email it to me and I will add it to the invitation for next week?
And what's happening next week?
No, what I'm saying is that if you have it right now, you can
Oh,
add
okay.
it to the chat so the
Oh,
friends would
no,
have
no, I
it.
don't.
If you don't have it,
No, no, no.
we wanna have it. So
No,
can you?
it's still I'm editing it. So it's not it's still not ready and it's going to be published in the book. So,
Okay,
but
okay,
I have written about it in other places. So if you go to my website, I have books, I have papers, I have presentations,
right,
and one of them is on happiness. And it was an academic paper talking about, and what I was doing is comparing what the academics, because happiness is one of the hottest fields in psychology right now. There's
right,
gobs of studies on it, gobs of books coming out, gobs of podcasts and people speaking on it. So there's a lot of good stuff. So what I
right,
did, it's dated now, but I said, how do the things they come up with happiness compare with what Abdul Baha and Baha'u'llah said are happiness? And
right.
actually, there's a very strong correlation. What science is coming up with, they're saying this hedonistic happiness is not happiness. And that's why we have huge opioid and addiction problems. Suicide is one of the leading causes of death among young people in a place where people have everything they could want for their bodies and minds. They are choosing to kill themselves because they are so miserable. We have a problem. And that problem is a spiritual problem. And as long as we continue looking for these material answers, we are going to continue to suffer.
Okay, thank you so
Sorry.
much. It's okay. No, I thought if you have the quotation, you could include
Oh,
it, but
I have to get out of this and that, and then
don't
I'll
worry about
probably
it. Don't worry.
cut you
Next
off.
time.
It's
Yeah.
easy. It's easy. I mean, just look up resignation. Most laudable. If you,
Okay,
because that's not a term that's used that much. It's in Gleanings. It's Baha'u'llah. It's not Abdul Baha.
okay,
So, or if you can remember any of those phrases that I said, just do a search for it. It'll pop up.
sure, sure.
And if you don't get it, write me and I'll send it to you.
Sure, sure. Also, there is a quotation in the chat. If the friends would like to have a look at it or read it, it is almost 7 minutes to 9. I won't mind sitting here till tomorrow, but usually from 8:30 to 9 we have devotional. We have 3 people asking questions. Now, Rod, what do you suggest I should do?
Take the questions.
Okay, Soraya Khanum, please go ahead.
I have a question. It came some 15 years ago when I was reading in the writings about the virtues, and suddenly it hit me that I haven't concentrated on that. And being older, what should we do besides saying prayers for forgiveness for what we missed?
Well, I can give you an answer to that very quickly. I give that answer almost every talk I give. And it's summarized in an acronym called PRISMS. I won't go over it because everybody here has heard it that's been here before, but PRISMS is the first letter of the 6 essential requisites for spiritual growth. And these are daily requisites. You need to do these daily. And these are not ones that I came up. This is from the House of Justice. It's from the study, and I have studied as much of the English writings as I can in terms of what Baha'u'llah and Abdul Baha said. And I've tried to study other religions as well. These pretty much line up as what you need to do if you want to develop spirituality. It's the path towards true spirituality. P stands for prayer. R stands for reading. You need to read you need to pray daily, at least the obligatory prayer. Reading, you need to read every morning and evening. And the I is for teaching or instructing. You need, as a Baha'i, you need to teach the faith. If not a Baha'i, you need to instruct other people to help them be their highest self. The S stands for service. The M stands for meditation. And the last S for prisms is to strive daily to develop those virtues, to incorporate the teachings into your life. So it's a lifelong endeavor, and there are hundreds of virtues. I tend to focus on 3: truth, love, and justice. I've written a book called Truth, Love, and Justice. It's free online on my website, and it's not that good, but it might help you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Olga came up with a piece of writing from Gleanings. Now, Olga, would you like to read it? I have Gary and Faride Jun.
I will try.
Okay,
It's the
go
same
ahead.
thing I just recited, but yeah, read it.
No, Olga will read it in with a better
Yep.
accent, by the way.
Oh
She's
my
more
goodness.
beautiful too.
Olga Jun, go ahead.
Some Russian accent for you people.
Absolutely,
The vir-
absolutely.
The virtues and attributes pertaining unto God are all evident and manifest, and have been mentioned and described in all the heavenly books. Among them are trustworthiness, truthfulness, purity of heart, while communing with God, forbearance, resignation to whatever the Almighty hath decreed, contentment with the things his will hath provided, patience, nay, thankfulness in the midst of tribulation, and complete reliance in all circumstances upon him. These rank, according to the estimate of God, among the highest and most laudable of all acts. All other acts are and will ever remain secondary and subordinate unto them. Gleanings.
Thank you so much. Olga Jan, now that you read 5 passages from Baha'u'llah, will you accept to to say a prayer in Russian when people are saying prayers? Just say,
Yes, that was the plan. I wanted to say healing prayer in Russian.
a bit perfect. So we'll wait for a second. Go. Thank you so much. Lynn Barrett said, "Love all your voices and openness. Such a gift to be present here with all of you and much gratitude." Thank you so much, Lynn. Come back next week. We love you. And Care said, thank you. Inshallah, we will meet soon. But you know, Persians they say inshallah when they don't know if they're going to come back or not. But I'll take it that you'll be back here. Gary, go for it.
Well, this is just when you said something about complete reliance. It made me think of the Bab when he says, "You cannot alter the things which the Almighty hath prescribed unto me. Naught shall touch me besides that which God, my Lord, hath preordained for me. In him have I placed my whole trust, and upon him do the faithful place their complete reliance." So I view tests different because it's all designed to draw us closer unto God. So now I have to still myself, reflect and meditate. What is it that I'm holding on to? Why am I struggling with this when I know his love? He's drawing me. But, you know, the veils that come in between are all man inserted. So when I sit back and pause and be still and say, what is it? It all comes down to detachment from all save God, and know that whatever the struggle is I'm going, it's designed to draw me closer unto him. And so this is one that I go through no matter, you know, in those difficult moments. I pause. Nothing that he has not, I don't care what it is. Man has says it mixed it to be something else. But God is his mercy, his forgiveness, his love is always a pathway to him, not to repel us from him. And the repellent comes because we're holding on to something we should detach from.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gary. You know we love you. I wanted to ask Faridejun, before we get to you, I wanted to ask Alice from St. Petersburg, Susan from Philadelphia, Pina from Malaysia. Uh, yes. When we start our prayers, can you kindly contribute and say prayers? We have other people, but I wanted to make sure that Alice, Susan, Pina, you know, Mr. Liu Chi is here. Mr. Liu Chi, we would love to hear you again. It's going to be another 15 minutes because Olga would like to start with a healing prayer in Russian. Also, I wanted to let you know, Rod, that Faye Alams is here. Hi, Faye. Hello, Apa.
Hello, love her.
How wonderful to see you, Faye. Faye and Rod were serving in Haifa for the longest time. I was there for 3 minutes and came back home. Yeah.
Thank you. Wonderful presentation, Rod. Enjoyed it.
Thank you, Faye.
Sitting
Thank you
outside
so
until
much.
it's getting dark. I mean,
I
your
see that. I see looks like a good life though.
it's
That's
nice.
right.
It's a little cool, but yeah, I'm in Longmont, Colorado.
Oh, you are?
I'm in Colorado.
I'm going to Colorado for my treatment. I'll be going to Fort Collins.
Fort Collins, right? Yeah.
So I'll try and keep in touch.
Okay.
We'll
good.
say prayers. We'll say, Faye, please, would you remember to say prayers for Rod as well, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Hope you feel better. You feel better.
I'm so glad you joined us, Faye. We love you. Thank you very much. Farideh June, you're going to be the last. Gary, do you want to say something, or are you ready? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, it's Gary. Go.
Faridejun, go ahead, please.
Okay. Allah Hapa, I'm sorry, I don't want to take your time because always I come late in half an hour because I forgot the time again, busy. But I want to mention that beloved guardian wrote tablets about the cancer because some Baha'is said they have here cancer, and but the police researching find about that how beloved guardian sympathy and his heart go to the people who have cancer. They said is in time of the beloved guardian, few Baha'i had cancer, and beloved guardian pray for them. They said the Baha'i to support, be kind, care for each other. I want you find that that writing, and also about happiness in the ocean. You go, there is a lot of coming up about the happiness. One is Abdul Baha mentioned, if you are happy, your brain is open, the sickness will go away, and then you can remember things, and all about happiness. But he said, if you are sad, the sickness will come to you. That is how the Baha'i must be did any condition to be happy. I don't want to say any more about that. Go to the ocean, lot of will come about happiness because world situation ups and down. How the Baha'i must have a strong faith of Baha'u'llah covenant and try to be happy. But the last thing I want to mention, Firuz John, you said somebody from Holy Land. I want to tell you about Soraya June. Usually I was Soraya, born in Garden of Rizwan in Baghdad. Because her father is Baghdadi, mother went pioneering to Baghdad, the time of the Guardian, and then all the pioneering must leave, but the man, the father, in love with her mother from Baghdad, and her grandfather was the Tahir Qudratul Ain to Iran. And then Soraya Jun, doctor of pharmacy. And then she married an American husband and then went 18 years, worked for the Universal House of Justice, Arabic professional university, Arabic she is. I hope she can show Arabic pray. And then she was so dear, and that House of Justice doesn't want to, she leave. But because of her mother was old in America, in the reservation, she come back. This Soraya June is here. And I'm so happy you mentioned in Penang, we was together. I was 22, 23 together, very old, young. We were in the Laotian camp together. I see her, I get so joy I see Penang. She teach to 500 Laotian become Baha'i. She brought 1,000 people in the faith in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, many, many countries. There are history people here. Just sorry, I love you.
Pina, she's talking about you. Let us. Did you hear that, Pina? Pina is detached. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Farida. I'm glad we just got to know each other. Otherwise, you would have shared the history of my life, although I hadn't done anything in my life. Friends, it's 9:06. We will move to our devotional part. The friends that are going to say prayers, with your permission, I wrote your name. Olga will start with a healing prayer for all the friends who need healing, whether they are here or not. And Susan from Philadelphia. Susan, smile so I know you got it. No? Okay, okay.
Oh, she can.
No, okay. Alice, you can. Don't say there's something wrong with your voice. Alice, after Olga is you, Pina, Gary, and then Mr. Liu, and whoever else wants to say a prayer. Would that be fine? So number one will be Olga in Russian, and then Alice Nightingale from St. Petersburg. Alice, are you with me? You don't want to be with me. I understand. But let's pray together. Olga, go ahead.
Ты тот, о мой Боже, чьими именами исцеляются больные, и укрепляются немощные, и жаждущим дается питье, и успокаиваются измученные недугом, и наставляются заблудшие, И возвышаются униженные, и обогащаются неимущие, и просвещаются невежественные, и озаряются угрюмые, и ободряются опечаленные, и отогреваются озябшие, и поверженные восстают. Именем Твоим, о мой Боже, всколыхнулось все сущее, и раскинуты небеса, и создана земля, и сотворены облака, и дождь излит на землю. Сие воистину есть знак благодати Твоей всем созданием Твоим. Посему молю Тебя именем Твоим, через кое проявил Ты Божие естество Твое и возвысил дело Твое над всем творением, и каждым из Твоих совершеннейших имен и величественных качеств, и всеми добродетелями, коими прославлено Твое неземное и наивозвышенное существо. Не спошли сей ночью из облаков Твоей милости целительные дожди Твои на сего немощного, коего связал Ты со всеславной сутью Твоей в царстве творения Твоего. Облачи же его, мой Боже, по благодати Твоей в одеяние благополучия и здравия, и храни его, о возлюбленный мой, ото всякой болезни и недуга, и ото всего, что противно Тебя. Подлинно могуществу Твоему подвластно все. Ты воистину наимогущественный, самосущный. Не спошли же ему, о мой Боже, благое мира сего и мира грядущего, благое прошлых поколений и последующих. Мощь и мудрость Твои воистину объемлют все.
Alice, unmute yourself, please. Alice. Thank you.
O thou beloved of my heart and soul, I have no refuge save thee. I raise no voice at dawn save in thy commemoration and praise. Thy love encompasseth me, and thy grace is perfect. My hope is in thee. O God, give me a new life at every instant, and bestow upon me the breaths of the Holy Spirit at every moment, in order that I may remain steadfast in thy love, attain unto great felicity, perceive the manifest light, and be in the state of utmost tranquility and submissiveness. Verily, thou art the giver, the forgiver, the compassionate. Abdul Baha.
Oh God, make me a hollow reed, from which the pith of self hath been blown, that I may become a clear channel, through which thy love may flow to others. Oh God, make me a hollow reed, from which the pith of self hath been blown, that I may become a clear channel, through which thy love may flow to others.
Katakanlah Tuhan mencukupi segala sesuatu di atas segalanya, dan tiada di langit maupun di bumi yang mencukupi kecuali Tuhan. Sesungguhnya Dia sendirilah yang maha tahu, yang maha pemelihara, yang maha kuasa. Katakanlah Tuhan mencukupi segala sesuatu di atas segalanya, dan tiada di langit maupun di bumi yang mencukupi kecuali Tuhan. Sesungguhnya Dia sendirilah yang maha tahu, yang maha pemelihara, yang maha kuasa.
Thank you, Juliet, Mr. Liu. Pina, would you like to say a prayer? Please go ahead.
He is God, O thou heirs of the kingdom. Be trustful of growth, God's grace, and despair not, for these worlds bitter their vicissitude. Praise be thou that thou hast had a kind and loving Lord, who is the healer of every ache, one, and caring of every sophisticated one. He is the refuge to every observe, and the selves of every selfless one, and exceedingly love. If thou dost the thunder Abdul Baha's heart is, thou wouldest for pure joy soar in the atmosphere of heavenly delight and shout to heaven to pure exaltation. Upon thee the glory of the conduce. Abdul Baha.
Thank you so much. Pina, we love you. You know that. We really love you. Feijun, would you like to say a prayer?
Okay.
Please.
O divine providence, perplexing difficulties have arisen and formidable obstacles have appeared. O Lord, remove these difficulties and show forth the evidences of thy might and power. Ease these hardships and smooth our way along this arduous path. O divine providence, the obstacles are unyielding, and our toil and hardship are conjoined with a myriad adversities. There is no helper save thee, and no succorer except thyself. We set all our hopes on thee, and commit all our affairs unto thy care. Thou art the guide and the remover of every difficulty, and thou art the wise, the seeing, and the hearing. Oh.
Isabel, would you like to say a prayer? Thank you.
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Isabel, thank you for taking part tonight, and you will be in our prayers.
Thank you.
And come back next week, please.
Of course. O thou provider, thou hast breathed over the friends in the West the sweet fragrance of the Holy Spirit, and with the light of divine guidance, thou hast lit up the western sky. Thou hast made those who were once remote to draw near unto thyself. Thou hast turned strangers into loving friends. Thou hast awakened those who slept. Thou hast made the heedless mindful. O thou provider, assist thou these noble friends to win thy good pleasure, and make them well wishers of stranger and friend alike. Bring them into the world that abideth forever. Grant them a portion of heavenly grace. Cause them to be true Baha'is, sincerely of God. Save them from outward semblances and establish them firmly in the truth. Make them signs and tokens of the kingdom, luminous stars above the horizons of this netherworld. Make them to be a comfort and a solace to humankind, and servants to the peace of the world. Exhilarate them with the wine of thy counsel, and grant that all of them may tread the path of thy commandments. O thou provider, the dearest wish of this servant of thy threshold is to behold the friends of East and West in close embrace, to see all the members of human society gathered with love in a single great assemblage, even as individual drops of water collected in one mighty sea, to behold them all as birds in one garden of roses, as pearls of one ocean, as leaves of one tree, as rays of one sun. Thou art the mighty, the powerful, and thou art the God of strength, the omnipotent, the all-seeing Abdul Baha.
Lynn, would you like to say a prayer?
I was thinking about was from my mother, and she learned it from her mother,
Sure.
who I never met. So my grandma was Norwegian, and legend has it, she died 2 years before I was born. Legend has it that when she prayed and swore, it was always in Norwegian. So it's the prayer I remember learning from my mother goes like this. Iesanam gavitabor spitsadika pordagor gutalada astagam safariman Iesanam. I believe the translation is, Lord Jesus, in thy name, with grateful hearts before thee bow. Bless thou these gifts and grant that we may always thank and honor thee. Amen.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Anybody else would like to say a prayer? Gary, these phone calls, what can I say? Anyways, friends, Gary, yeah, the phone call is ended. I'm so glad. Or you put her on pause.
I'm listening. It's a meeting that I normally have, so I'm in listening mode, but I'm here, as you can see. So
I understand.
until it's my turn to talk over there.
Gary, we would like to end with you if that's okay.
Well, I would like to share a writing, if that's okay, from the selections of writings of Abdul Baha.
Sure, please go ahead.
And I've shared it before, but he says, from amongst all mankind, he hath chosen you, and your eyes have been opened to the light of guidance, and your ears attuned to the music of the company above. And blessed by abounding grace, your hearts and souls have been born into new life. Thank ye and praise ye God that the hand of infinite bestowals has set upon your heads this gem-studded crown, this crown whose lustrous jewels will forever flash and sparkle down all the reaches of time. To thank him for this, make ye a mighty effort and choose for yourselves a noble goal. Through the power of faith, obey ye the teachings of God and let all your actions conform to his laws. Ya Baha'u'llah.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. Give my love to her. Mr. Liucci, thank you so much for joining us so early in the morning. Juliet, we love you. Thank you so much. You have been so kind to us and to this Thursday evening gatherings. I don't know how to thank you. Really, really, we appreciate it. You know, faithfulness is a very special attribute. Thank you for being there every Thursday. We love you.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Rod. Also, again, you inspired me to keep diving deeper into the ocean of Baha'u'llah's words, and I just thank you for your presentations. I thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Gary is the boss in this fireside.
Dust in the pathway.
Okay.
Dust.
Yeah. So, Lynn, thank you for being here. Isabel, we love you. You'll be in our prayers. Soraya Khanum, thank you so much. Bijanjan, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Furusjan. Great meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Faye. Faye, I was very sick in Haifa with certain things, and Faye would have watermelon, these heavy watermelons, and come up the mountain. I mean, I can't take myself up on that mountain, but Faye would do shopping and and then she would knock at my door and I would open and there was all that food and fruit. I never have had the opportunity to thank you for everything you've done for me. عزیزم من به فدای شما.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure, really. My goodness. It's wonderful to see you, meet you, all the new friends. My pleasure, really.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Faride Jun, thank you for being here. Roya Jun, Olga, we love you in Russian. I forgot. I knew love you in Russian, but
Thank you, John. It's я люблю тебя.
Я люблю тебя, Olga Jan.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you, my love. Thank you. ترانه خانم مهاجر خوش آمدید. فرید جون, thank you for coming. We love you too. Friends, did I miss anyone?
No,
Charlene
you never miss anyone.
and Dr. Clarken. Dr. Clarken, thank you so much. A friend
Luck in
during
Colorado.
happy time and sad time and during all seasons. We love you and you will be in our prayers. Thank you for accepting to speak tonight, Rod. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aloha. Love you all. Aloha.
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 Send me the link, Gary, for tomorrow in case.
Okay.
Okay.
Shall do. And can you distribute it? Because it's going to be
Yes.
healing. It's a healing hour.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. Thank you, Faridejun. Thank you so much.
So, Farouz,
Yes.
are you talking about the prayer jam or the other prayer?
Anything.
Okay, so I'm having the prayer jam, but we're also having a special healing prayer at 6 Eastern for Aniela's husband, for Miguel. So come on tomorrow. I'm going to send you the link. I thought I emailed it to you today, and I'll send it to you. And then
what happened to Aniela?
He's ill. He's going through of some major health issues. He's but we're having a special healing thing for him, but everyone else. But it came to my heart. He's facing some health challenges right now. So it'll be tomorrow at 6. I'll send you. I thought I emailed it to you, but I'll email it to you now. And if you can distribute it, but it's open prayer 6:30 Eastern tomorrow until 8. And it's a pop-in. Come as you are, stay as long as you want. But we're just going to be in a healing space and everything for, particularly for him.
Okay, is he very sick?
We're waiting for some things. They'll probably elaborate on it tomorrow. And I want to keep their family, privacy until they announce. But that's what it's called for. And Pina, I have been keeping you in my prayers. You have been in my heart. I've been sending you love and prayers, and just know that they continue. And so thank you, beloved, I was just, again, to see you tonight is a prayer answered for me. So thank you so much.
And Trump created
Aziza. Good night, everyone. Love
Okay,
you.
so I'll send that to you, okay?
Sure.
All right.
I didn't know you were not well.
Love you all.
Pina, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was away for almost 3 months. Sorry, Pina. Pina, what happened to you? Pina, tell me what happened to you. You are muted.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm getting, but I still have to help, a lot more helps. Thank you.
Oh, you were not feeling well?
Is this
Yes,
serious? Pina,
yes,
is this serious?
I still have all those. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
I love you, Pina.
Thank you.
I hope everything goes well. Everything goes well.
Everything will go well. Thank you. Thank you, Faye. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just have to say prayers for everyone, really.
That's right. That's
Prayers for everyone.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you all.
Good to see you
Yes,
all.
thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad you were here. Roya Khanum, Khodafis. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Bye.
And